Welcome to Kathryn Raaker's World. Innovation, culture, adventure, fashion and health, artists, destinations, traditions. This is Kathryn Raaker's World.
Okay. Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World. I'm so honored to have Juan Hidalgo, Republican Party of the Republican Party, is running for the 51st Congressional District of California. And California 1st Congressional District has been held by Democrats for a while. He's on the ballot in the general election on November 3rd of 2020. He's advanced from the primary election on March 3rd, 2020. Hidalgo was a 2016 Republican candidate who sought election to the U.S. House to represent the 51st Congressional District. Sergeant Major Juan M. Hidalgo, retired, was born and raised in San Diego. He enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1984, and he earned his associate's degree in general studies from Central Texas College. He also earned a Bachelor of Science degree in criminal justice, summa cum laude, from Park University. As a graduate of the National Defense University Keystone Executive Leadership Course, Sergeant Major Hidalgo also earns first degree black belt from the Marine Corps Martial Arts Program. He has many decorations, and he's running, and I'm so excited. He's part of the Air Power Foundation, which I'm a member of, not the Air Power Foundation, the Veterans in Defense of Liberty, and the Champions of Liberty. Welcome to our show. I'm so excited to have you. How tough is it out there, buddy?
Hey, Kathryn, thank you so much for having me. It's, you know what? Hey, if it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
That's right.
I'm a Marine. I'm not worried about it being too tough. We have a lot of things at stake, and what's at stake is our freedom, our country. Right. So that's why we have to be in the fight and not worry about how tough it is.
Right. And, I think the most important thing is that we want to live in a democratic republic, right? And we don't want to live under communism. And if we let the left win, excuse me, I'm afraid we will lose all of our rights, and especially the First and Second Amendment, which is on point right now. So let me ask this question, because I was a Marine wife at one time, an Air Force wife the second time, and I have to tell you, the military and the police mean a lot to us, all of us. And thank you for your service, because I think it's important for us to really thank you for what you're doing. Tell me what's going on in California right now and what you're against and what we need to do to support you.
I thank you for your the acknowledgement of my service, and it's nothing that many others haven't done and are doing. So I'm proud to be amongst many great Americans. What's going on in California? California, we need to put patriots in. Every time I speak, I ask people, how many of you want to see real Christians back in office? And all their hands go up. How many of you want to see real patriots back in office? Their hands go up. And I said, then it's time to get behind me. What I was telling you is that I asked people that, and it is time to put people, real patriots, real Christians back in office. As you indicated, there's a lot of people, there's some, I should say, that want to turn this into a socialist government. We cannot have that. As we say in the Corps, not on my watch. It's not going to happen. It's no longer about you and me, Kathryn. It's about our children, our grandchildren, and perhaps for many, their great-grandchildren. We want to leave America better than we found it, better than that was given to us. That's the American dream. We always let the generations behind us have it better. Well, that's not what's going to happen if we allow people like the guy I'm running against to stay in office, who is helping support things like that, like the New Green Deal, which is completely off the reservation, isn't going to help anybody, supports people like Joe Biden, who can't even articulate a sentence, and just is, and Kamala Harris, who is completely out there and says, like you said, they'll come after our guns. They're already, we don't have to wait for them to come after our religion. They've already done that.
Doing it, right?
It's not about, it's not a war on religion. It's a war on Christianity. Because you can talk about any other religion you want, but the minute you talk about Christianity, they want to shut us down.
Right. And you know, the sad part is that they're trying to do that every week. And or in different states, like for instance, what happened in Brooklyn and what happened in California. We had a missionary come out from California, and it was the first time he said he was at Mass for actually 2 days. He has not been to Mass since March in California. That's pretty sad.
Here's something and I have many good friends that are Catholic, and I want them to remember something. And they're great Americans, but there's something in the Catholic Church that is taught. It's called the 5 non-negotiables. They teach, do not vote for somebody that believes in same-sex marriage, somebody that believes in abortion, somebody that believes in euthanasia, somebody that believes in stem cell research. You know where I'm going? And that's put out by the Catholic Church, yet we have many Catholics not following that. So I'm surprised, because many of them will tell me, how do you know this? They don't know this. And I said, well, you know, and let's be fair. We have Christians, you know, Protestants who say, well, we don't care about, you know, I've met some that say, well, a gentleman I'm thinking of right now who told me, well, I'm not supporting those issues. I'm supporting, in this case, he supported Joe Biden. I said, how can you say you don't support the issues? That's the biggest part of the platform. So you as a Christian, and I played Blake to help you, I don't know how any God-fearing Christian can support the Democrat politicians. It's nonsense. They want to take our rights. They want to kill babies. And you know this already, Kathryn. We're talking 3,000 babies a day. That is 9/11 happening every day. That's nonsense. We have to stand up for all lives, including the unborn.
The unborn is so important. This issue is important, but people have to understand what they will lose if they elect Joe Biden, and the rest of these crazy, and I have to say it, some of them are really nuts about some of the ideas that they come. I mean, there's no way we could support it. And why do I want to support somebody that wants to do late-term abortion? And we're talking about the baby's born and they're going to kill it. They're going to take it in the closet or take it somewhere else and kill it. That's wrong. And what about euthanasia? I'm older. I don't want him to kill me. I'm sorry.
You're absolutely correct. And here's the other thing. You think about it. We have to fight for, you know, a lot of people just look at the top of the ticket. That's important. But taking back the Congress, the House, is so important.
That's
and
right.
The seat I'm running for is not, I'd say it's the most important district in the country. Why? Because it covers the entire California-Mexican border, from water to Arizona. We have things like the guy I'm running against who supports open borders. That's nonsense. When you support open borders, this is what he's supporting, because remember, he was the guy complaining about children in cages. He didn't care when Obama did it. But that's just a farce to say he cares about children in cages. What about the children that are being human trafficking?
That's right.
That are part of human. What about the children that are getting on drugs because that's coming across a porous border? What about taking care of our law enforcement agents, those that secure our border or trying to?
Mm-hmm.
We have to go back to law and order, supporting our police officers, our border patrol agents, our ICE agents, our federal officers, all these people in our military for sure. All these men and women, brave men and women, are not being supported by the guy I'm running against. You know, you can say you do, show me. Well, his record
What has
shows.
he done? What has he done in Congress since he's been there? Anything?
Yeah, that's a great question. I always ask somebody who tells me that they're a supporter. I said, if you support him, please name one thing. Just name me one thing that he's done in the last almost 8 years to help you and your family. You know, and we don't have to look back. Today, I'm on the street every day working for the American people, even though I'm not in Congress yet. Today, I myself, my team's helping too. We have people out walking, but I myself hit 500 doors myself. Okay. I talked to a lady and she said, to her credit, she said, I'm sorry, you know, I'm going to vote for this guy. And I said, really? I said, that's interesting. I said, let me ask you a question. What has he done for you? Well, her eyes lit up and she had to think about it. And she said, nothing. He's done absolutely. He's just been there for a long time. I said, so how does that make sense to vote for him? Her friend that was standing next to her said, give me that card. I'm voting for Hidalgo. And these are the biggest part of the district, Hispanics that are saying that are Democrats. She was a Democrat. Okay. And I don't care if, to be quite frank, it does not matter. Let me phrase it different. It does not matter to me whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, or independent. I am a proud Republican. But see, the difference between me, a big difference between me and that other guy, the wrong one, I'm the right one. I will work for everybody. It's one of the many things I learned in my 31 and a half years in the Marine Corps. You work for everybody. You don't ask them what party they are. You don't look at the color of their skin. You don't ask them whether they're male or female. You work for them. That's called servant leadership. And to be quite frank, he's not working for anybody. So it's time to get him out of there and put the right one in office and get rid of the wrong one.
Right. I mean, we've had somebody that's been in politics for 47 years at 77 that they need to retire because he's been in the basement this whole time. And he's gone so left. And what we don't want, and if he, for some reason, can't make it after the second day, guess who would come into power? A scary woman that I wouldn't want running our country. We need people like you because we need strong representation in Congress and the Senate. And
it's a frightening thing to fathom. You're absolutely correct. And if you watch closely and you really do the research, which I know you do, that seems to be the Democrat politicians. Let's be clear, because I think you agree with this. Whenever I speak derogatory about Democrats, I'm talking about the politicians, not the citizens. We have some great Americans that call themselves Democrats. God bless them. And independents.
Yeah, I'm right.
But the fact is, when you look at the Democrat politician, their MO seems to be, don't do anything. They don't work. Sleepy Joe hasn't done anything in 47 years. The guy I'm running against hasn't done anything in almost 8 years. All the people that are running for Congress in San Diego, they have done zero, and they just play the game that I'll get elected because it's a Democrat. Well, we need to turn it red for the sake of taking care of Americans. And that's what I'll do. I'll be working for Americans. You got to put America first.
And you know, you've got a lot of people moving out of California because they can't handle the governor and all the other regulations and everything that has happened in California. And I have family, lots of family in the state of California. And I mean, San Diego is a beautiful place. I'd like to be there. But my kids live outside of San Francisco, where you have Nancy Pelosi, who I'd like to see not the Speaker of the House. We need to have more of you in Congress. That's definitely the truth.
I agree with you. And the way we're going to do that is we need to stop saying, I keep telling people, we need to stop only looking for what some people will say, well, that's a winnable. They're all winnable, but will we put the work in? Because people see, the old saying is nobody cares what you know until they know that you care.
Right.
See, people in this district now know that I care. They see me on the streets every day. I run into people and they're like, what? They're so baffled with my team that I'm out there with my team helping. And I said, well, I'm working for you. That's why I'm working, to be in Congress, to work for you. And they're so amazed by that because they never see the other guy. The other guy, I dubbed him Bigfoot. People say, why do you call him Bigfoot? I said, because he's like Bigfoot. You've heard of him, you just never seen him.
Seen him, right.
Never around. He is so arrogant. Let me tell you what he told a friend of mine. And this is how the Democrats think, the politicians think. He told a friend of mine, a mutual friend, he doesn't need a campaign. My friend said, well, you haven't done anything. Juan Hidalgo goes out there working, making things happen. And he said, I don't have to campaign. Listen, this is the part that'll get you upset. Those people, he said, will still vote for me. Can you believe the arrogance there, the sheer arrogance? Nobody wants to see our money, our taxpayer dollar, go to really bail out failed leadership. That's what it is, failed leadership. When you have the governor here in California paying for legal costs for illegal aliens and openly doing that, that's wrong. When making sure that illegal aliens got stimulus checks, that is just wrong. We can't, and what the Democrats try to do, remember, we have to be smart here, because what the Democrat politicians always try to do is make it about that you're a racist or I'm a racist if we don't want that. That's nonsense. We're not racist. We, as I indicated earlier, we want law and order. We want to follow our Constitution. We want to make sure that people, I've never met, I don't know if you have, I've never met one person, not one, and I met, a lot of people. I've never met one person against legal immigration.
And on that note, we need to take a short break, and we'll be right back with our wonderful congressman-to-be, Juan Hidalgo, who is in the 51st district. And we need to vote for him. We need to send him money because we need to have him in office. So we'll be right back on Kathryn Raaker's World.
It's always been a part of me to fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. Whether on my block or around the world. My name is First Lieutenant King, and I move toward the sounds of those who are in need of help.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
We are back with Juan Hidalgo, who is a personal friend of mine, who I met in Champions of Liberty program in Washington, D.C. And I love his passion for what he believes in our country. All of us in some way, shape, or form my family came from Poland and Germany. And, I really believe that they loved America. And why are people flocking to America? Because they care. Hello? It makes sense. But I agree with you. We should do it the right way. There are people that have been in line forever as legal aliens coming in. Why should we deny them citizenship? Because illegal aliens want to come in.
I'll tell you a couple of things that stick out of my mind. Obviously I'm from San Diego. I grew up here. Most people can look at me and tell I'm Hispanic. I'm an American, though. That's first and foremost. But I remember my grandmother. My grandmother died in 1990. She was 100 years old. But I remember her every time we'd come across, because we'd go to Tijuana, Mexico often. But every time we'd come across, she was so proud to show her green card, her alien, her card that she was legal to be here. My grandfather died, earlier than her. He was 91, and he was always told. I remember him talking to my father, hearing those stories about we follow the law. In most Hispanics that I know are law-abiding citizens.
That's right.
They want to follow the law. You have people, as you know, and you read off a little bit of my biography. My last duty station, the last appointment I had was that of the Sergeant Major of JTF Gitmo, Joint Task Force, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. While we were there, we would often find people coming across minefields, swimming across through the water to get to Gitmo. They thought if they put their feet on Gitmo, they would become American citizens. They were free. Well, they would repatriate them and send them back often. The interesting thing to me is I never saw anybody swimming from Florida to get to Cuba.
You're not going to see that.
That's right, because people were leaving communism to get to the great country of America.
That's right.
This is a great country. We need to make sure it stays great. We need to make sure that we leave it better than our children, for our children. So, I mean, these people that want to usher in socialism, communism, I often tell people, never in my wildest imagination, when I was fighting for this country, did I think there would be some that would want to usher in socialism. It's just crazy. We are the greatest country. That's why people want to flock to this country, but we always have to do it the right way.
That's right, because that's what the most important thing is. Our forefathers created our country and our Constitution and our Bill of Rights, and they fought for it. So we need to fight for it. And we need to, so tell us about what you're looking about bringing new jobs in. And with President Trump, we've had those new jobs created. And the economy is coming back, right? But we don't, yeah, go ahead.
It is, but unfortunately, my district has been hit hard even before the pandemic. As I mentioned to you last time we spoke, before the pandemic, our unemployment rate, while the rest of the country touted a 3.2 unemployment rate, this district had 11% unemployment.
Why?
It's unexcusable. Why? Because people like the guy I'm running against don't care. Why wouldn't you take the time? Here's just one example of how we create jobs. We go sit down with the Secretary of HUD, who you know has money for urban programs,
That's
small
right.
business loans, things like that. Why wouldn't he sit down? I mean, that's smart. How can you help my district get some of these small business loans? Help people. If they have small business, they're thriving, they hire people. That gets unemployment rate lower. It's not been done because, again, quite frankly, the guy doesn't care. He'd rather say that would look good for the administration. If it was a Democrat administration, I would. If it's going to help my district, let's talk to them. We don't have to agree on everything, but that's the difference between leadership, real leadership. You don't have to agree with people. You don't have to compromise. What you have to do is you have to find common ground to help the people that you work for. See, that's another huge difference between myself and the wrong one.
Mm-hmm.
He, like most of the Democrat politicians, feel that the people work for him. That's nonsense. I will always work for the American people.
And you know what? He forgets that we pay his paycheck. We need to have someone that represents San Diego, that really cares, that grew up there, that served his country. I mean, jobs are important. Healthcare is important. There's so many things that are important that, you know, seniors look at. They don't want euthanasia. They don't want babies to be aborted. Let's face it. You know, and the sad thing about it, remember what Planned Parenthood was started for.
Oh, yeah, it was social engineering, clearly.
Social engineering to get rid of the blacks. Exactly.
Yeah. And if you look at the demographics of the babies that are aborted every day or throughout, you know, the year, what's the biggest number of children that are aborted? It's African Americans. After that, it's Hispanics.
That's right.
And yet many people still are loyal to the Democrat Party. And that just needs to change. And what I keep telling people, vote your values, vote your biblical values, vote the man, not the party.
Right.
And we win every day because it's about character. It's about character, it has to be. You know, and when we get back to
if you care about people, Juan, you really do. And it shows in everything that you do and how much you care, because you roll your sleeves up, you get your hands dirty, you help people, you help the homeless. You've done so much in the time I've known you, right? And you're always on. You're never, there are some people that they end their day after 8 hours. You and I never end our days, right? I'm going to work till I'm about 101.
8 hours is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I got a meeting at 1900 after this, and then after that, we're going to go out and do some more work. So we're averaging, my team is working hard. Can't do without them. It's okay. We'll get sleep after the election, maybe. Right now, it's time to press hard. I'm hoping your friends that are watching, all of our friends that are watching, if they want to see what I'm doing, what we have going on, they don't have to wait. They can go right now and see all the things we're doing every day. Not waiting to get in Congress, already working now for the American people. They can go to hidalgoforcongress.com. They can check out our Facebook page, Hidalgo for Congress, and they can see all the things we're doing. And I challenge them to find another candidate.
Also send you a contribution, which is really important right now.
It's extremely important. Right now, we're getting ready to run TV ads, and that costs a lot of money. But that's going to take us across the finish line, and we can end strong here. So I need all of our friends watching. Go to hidalgoforcongress.com. There's a donate button. The max you can contribute is $2,800. If you want to send $2,800, God bless you. If you want to send $5, God bless you. Anything helps, and we can. That's one of the reasons the other guy's arrogant, is because he's got a war chest and he thinks, I got it. Well, we're going to show him, because the one thing that I have that he doesn't, I have Jesus on my side. I'm never afraid to tell people that I'm a devout Christian. The reason I've been successful thus far in my life is because my Lord and Savior. And he will continue to make me successful and put me wherever he wants. I feel it's in Congress. If it's his will, we'll be in Congress. And I always tell everybody that another huge difference, when I go to Congress, we're all going to Congress, because they will finally have a voice working for the American people.
Well, I'm coming to Washington to see you, buddy, because I know you're going to make it. And I'm going to make a contribution tonight with my credit card. And I just want to let you know that. And we also, all of our team members that were part of Champions of Liberty and Veterans in Defense of Liberty are going to be, this piece is going to go all out to them on our YouTube. You can have this piece for your YouTube, whatever you need. We'll edit it tomorrow morning and you'll have it. How about that? And it's, let's spell your name out so they know where to go.
Very good. Look behind me too. I did it on purpose, but it's HIDALGO. Again, HIDALGO. Hidalgoforcongress.com. Go right there and you'll see everything we got going on. And you'll see we're busy on purpose. We want to make sure that we're going to win this. I don't want to leave anything, we're going to put it all in the field. We're moving. This is what we do as Americans. We fight for what we believe in. And I believe in our country. I believe in America. Where else? I always tell them, where else does a kid go from a town, National City, California, raise up through the ranks, make it to the highest enlisted rank sergeant major, earn 2 college degrees, and get to run for Congress? Only in America.
Only in America. And I want to thank you for your service again. HidalgoForCongress.com. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. And it'll be on our wonderful website. It'll be everywhere. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
I can send you the link to, my team can send you the link so you have it. You can just put it on there, you can tap on it.
Okay. I want to say goodbye. We'll see you next time on Kathryn Raaker's World. Thank you so much. For all you do. Okay, and that'll be.
God bless you. God bless America.
All right.